Good and gracious God, today you call us to welcome the members of your family who have come to our land to escape oppression, poverty, persecution, violence, and war. Help us to remove barriers in our hearts and in our minds that we may embrace each of your children as our own brother and sister, to give witness to your love for all people as we celebrate the many gifts they bring, and to welcome migrants and refugees with joy and generosity while responding to their many needs. We give you thanks for the family you have called together from so many people around the world. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to start with kind of background information about our friends here and our speakers. Sheila Badwan is the Vice President of Hanan Refugee Service Group in Milwaukee. She was born in Greenville, North Carolina, and was an active member of the community there as she is here. She graduated in 2005 with a bachelor's degree in business administration with a concentration in management from East Carolina University. She has worked in the healthcare industry in many specialties for the last 10 years. Sheila is co-founder of an interfaith group of women in Milwaukee called Open Arms. Sheila is currently the lead for the Hanan Refugee Group Milwaukee chapter. She works heavily with refugees and immigration populations in the Milwaukee community. She's married and a devoted mom of 2 kids. One of her children has special needs. Sheila believes it is important in building bridges among various communities. She has worked in Milwaukee, Sheboygan, Oshkosh, and throughout Wisconsin establishing relationships with various cultures, communities, and religions specific to refugee and immigration issues. Sheila sits on an advisory board for domestic violence for Muslim women called Our Peaceful Home through the Milwaukee Muslim Women's Coalition. Maryam Durani is a cultural program director at Hanan. She is an Afghan activist, was an elected official, and an internationally recognized advocate for the rights of Afghan women and girls. She is the founder of the Kandahar Women Advocacy Network, in addition to leading Kadiya Cobra Women Association for Culture, the non-government organization that works to uphold women's rights in Afghanistan. She managed Maryam Radio of Kandahar, the only local female-focused radio station in Kandahar, possibly in Afghanistan, she'll tell us, and is the founder of the Malalai Maiwandi Internet Cafe, a free women's internet cafe that aims to connect women within a thriving environment and a safe place. It's also the first of its kind in Afghanistan. She founded the House of Learning, an institute of modern studies for girls' education, free of cost. Durani studied business at the American University of Afghanistan, read law and political science at Noor University. She has been recognized for her work and contributions at a global and national scale. She's a recipient of many prestigious awards, including the U.S. Secretary of State and Globe Award for International Women of Courage, and was highlighted as one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the world in 2021. In 2013, she was granted amongst 30 young activists by the National Endowment for Democracy to support her work and to empower women to take on leadership roles. And she also received in 2014 for Freedom's Medal for Freedom of Speech. She has received the Brave Woman Award from the state of. She has received the Brave Woman Award from the state of Pennsylvania, the Women's Rights Proctor Award from Washington, and Iraq and Afghanistan Female Peace Activist Appreciation Award from Turkey. In 2021. Fleeing from ongoing humanitarian crisis, she and her family resettled to the United States, specifically in Milwaukee. She works with Hanan refugees and continues her work with the Afghan women as educating Afghan women here locally in Wisconsin through ESL, workshops, mentoring, parenting workshops, and hopes to continue her work in Afghanistan here in the United States through continued advocacy work. That being said, let's welcome Sheila Badwan and Maryam Durani. And Sheila will begin, and then Maryam will go from there. Yes?
Who's who?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sheila Badwan, Maryam Durani. Thank you.
Thank you. My bio is not as impressive as Miriam's. Thank you everyone for having me today. It's an honor to be here. I want to give a little, brief history about Hanan and how we started here in the Milwaukee area. Hanan started back in 2016. We originally were incorporated in North Carolina, and we brought Hanan here to Wisconsin during the Syrian refugee crisis. And we started here, we're a community-based organization, and we saw the need when we started working with Syrian refugees, the lack, the gaps that were really lacking when refugees started coming in, and they really needed the assistance. And that's how we kind of formed. Actually, we started with our first family, kind of started in Sheboygan, and it kind of trickled down to Milwaukee. And we came from Sheboygan to Milwaukee, and that's how we just took off after that. And so we've expanded to now, not just, we were a volunteer organization, and now we're federally funded, and we have employees now, and it's, we still continue our mission to help, our mission is to advocate for the refugees and make sure their services are properly given. It's not a business for us, it's really to help those families that are coming into the community to make sure they're actually getting the services that they're supposed to be getting. So our goal with Hanan is to transition refugees into becoming contributing members of their host communities by providing their long-term solutions, such as the housing, labor opportunities, to be able to give them back the dignity they need to strengthen themselves and their new community. We focus on Hanan this past year actually had an opportunity to resettle Afghans through partnerships with our partners, Islamic Relief and Church World Service. We were federally funded during this crisis. The government saw that community-based organizations were doing a wonderful job at resettling. So we are under what's called an alternative resettlement program, where we were able to get funding through the government and actually resettle just like a normal resettlement agency would. However, the difference between us and a normal resettlement is we're actually doing a lot more work than a normal resettlement is. We work heavily with the community. We work heavily with the churches, where we communicate heavily on a day-to-day basis. A lot of our volunteers, we have a lot of volunteers through Hanan that we communicate regularly. So I just want to explain some of the services that we provide, and then what Maryam is going to do is actually talk about more in depth of what this past year the Afghans. We don't just help Afghans, we actually help all refugees that walk in our door. So just because this past year we were all, the Afghan crisis is what we were all hit with, so she's going to actually talk about more in depth about the Afghan crisis. So, like I said, alternative resettlement is something that Hanan has been provided. So we've always been assisting, for the last 5 years, we've always been assisting both resettlement agencies when a new family comes in. They actually contact us, we set up housing, we provide all new items. We actually don't provide any used items. We try to give dignity to these families, and just because of issues that we've seen with bed bugs and issues that we've actually faced, we always provide new items through Amazon wish list. We have great donors that have contributed in the past, so we make sure everything is new. Some of our main focuses are social services, healthy living programs. We have a food program. therapy, a mentorship program, and educational program. Like I said, our resettlement program is this new alternative resettlement program. We did just sign a new contract with resettling for the next 3 years, not just Afghans, but all refugees. And nationally, the government is seeing a lot of community-based organizations that are really working hard on the ground, that are really doing a great job working with the community, where they're working with churches, mosques, synagogues, any organizations, and seeing that community is how communication is very effective. And these families really need the community's support. So we are able to get federally funded for the next 3 years to be able to resettle not just Afghans, but all refugees. And so this whole resettlement program that maybe was initially a just resettlement agency is now kind of shifting towards more community-based organizations like Hanan. We have, one of the things we offer is healthy living program. And this is, we partner with community organizations to provide free health screenings annually we do health fairs and we do community outreach activities. We do advocacy and mentoring. Some of the things that families need is mentors, where a family can become their mentor and sponsor that family and help them with day-to-day activities, such as visiting the family with helping them with task-oriented activities, such as reading their mail, grocery shopping. I know we have a couple of volunteers in here, like Joanna, who helps many families. I have to give it up to Joanna. She's like one of our number one volunteers.
Am I in your way?
These families, it's crucial. Mentors are so important, and some of these families really get lost when they come to the U.S. If they don't speak English, they can have their mail sit for months. They don't know what they're looking at. They don't know how to pay their electricity or even pay their rent. And after 90 days, this resettlement is really, you're here for 90 days. Your resettlement agency, basically, it's a 90-day period. And after those 90 days, your resettlement says, hey, we're not responsible for you. Realistically, if you don't speak English, you're not educated, 90 days is not enough. We've seen that time and time again, and we know we've had tons of families, single mothers with lots of kids that need much more time than 90 days. And with mentors, they've literally saved lives that have helped families. And I can tell you, volunteers will tell you the work they've done and how they've helped families. We have a food program. We help refugees navigate the food environment as they encounter unfamiliar food choices, and food insecurity with a lack of inconsistent access to enough food for active health life. Most families with children do not have the financial resources to resolve the issue. I'll give you an example of this. We have families, they get benefits from the government. However, after 6 months, they have to renew. If they don't know how to renew, we have tons of families. Their food share gets cut off. They don't know how to do renewal. We have tons of families right now from the Afghans. Their food share is cut off. They don't know how to do renewal. They don't know where to go to get. They have no how to renew their food share. So we're actually partnered with many organizations such as Hunger Task Force that can provide emergency food boxes until they come to us, and we actually have to assist them and take them to UMOS and help them renew their applications because it's in English and they can't read English right now. So this is a problem, just one example of how coming to a new country can be very difficult for someone that doesn't speak the language or read the language. Educational programs. So Hanan provides ESL on site at Hanan Center. We have ESL for women, and we have ESL for men. One of the things about Hanan is we're very culturally sensitive. We have Hanan, we actually separated the classes because of, right now primarily we have a lot of women and men that are from the Afghan community, and we separated them. And to these women that come to class didn't read or write in their own language. So to see that progress, you know, is amazing. To see them write their own names in, you know, their own in English is big progress for us. We also have a scholarship program through Hanan that we started last year called the Dr. Ahmed Nazif Scholarship. This is for a former committee member that passed away. He was a Syrian doctor that passed away 2 years ago, who was on our committee. We started this, and we've actually already provided 12 scholarships under this to local refugee students in the Milwaukee area. They can apply and help attend, you know, if they're attending a local university. This goes towards their tuition, books, if they need a laptop to help support for refugee and immigrant kids here in the local Wisconsin area. We also partner for educational programs. We also partner with organizations, for example, like C Literacy, that some kids need additional assistance with tutoring. C Literacy, if you don't know, I do have this sheet here on everyone's tables that have a list of all the partners that we work with. One of the things is we can't do it alone. We always say community. We work with tons of organizations, and our partners, we go to them. We can't do it alone, so we don't provide it on site. We go to our partners. We know who does it best, and C Literacy is one of our great partners that provides tutoring for refugee students. Bob Heffernan is a realtor and a landlord, and when he was renting out property, he noticed a lot of his property, a lot of his tenants were Rohingya, and so he actually started this group to help his tenants learn English, because he was concerned about his tenants, and that's how he formed his organization. So C Literacy, you can learn about their organization. It's on here, so you could definitely look them up, Google them. Great organization. Some of the social services we provide, you know, we actually have a lot of interpreters that will go on site, you know, travel with families to their appointments, such as food share, Medicaid appointments, their Social Security, their WIC appointments, also immigration appointments. For example, right now we're partnered with Catholic Charities for Immigration for all the Afghans. Our Afghan case coordinator has traveled. We're working heavily with Barbara Graham with Catholic Charities, and she's actually wonderful. We've coordinated all of our clients, and actually the resettlement agency's clients. We've worked alongside Barbara Graham, and our case coordinator has done all the interpretation for these clients, and we do this constantly throughout the years. If it's Arabic, we send our Arabic interpreter. If it's Rohingya, we send an interpreter for Rohingya. So we find a solution, and we make sure we have someone sent with that person. So these are one of the services that we provide. Why community supports make a difference. When you belong to a supportive, caring community, it has a positive impact for those individuals' overall health. The power of a strong, supportive community where people pitch in and help each other practically, emotionally, and socially enables vulnerable individuals and the entire community to respond better, adapt, and recover. Lastly, I wanted to talk about the cultural orientation. Every refugee that comes in has to go through a cultural orientation, and realistically, they go through this, every resettlement agency, they probably go through this in one day, or maybe 2 days, but realistically, cultural orientation is a process. This can take years for families. And so, we have thought about, through our ESL programs, through Hanan, we actually started, for example, for our ESL for men, we're going to integrate these cultural orientations slowly for these families, because you can't learn how to budget your money in one day when you arrive off the plane. Realistically, these families don't know, they've never paid bills, and they've never paid American bills, and this is a lot for them to take on. And so, these are just things that I wanted to talk about resettlement, very important things. A lot of, going to a new country, it can be very difficult and stressful, and not only coming to a new country, but also having survivor's guilt, leaving loved ones behind, that added stress of, I have to support my loved ones behind, and how can I support the loved ones behind, but also how can I support my family here? And that's what a lot of these families are going through right now, even the educated ones. We have families that are engineers, we have families that are doctors. I have a doctor that said, hey, I want to go back to Afghanistan. He doesn't speak English, but he's a doctor. We have pharmacists. So it's very difficult when you don't know the language and you can't practice. If you're a pharmacist, and you have to go work in a factory job, and you are a pharmacist and you are a doctor, so it's very hard for families to change.
Where is the ESL located?
It's at our Hanan Center on Howard and Howell in Milwaukee.
Way east side. Is that where most of the refugees are?
So most of the Afghans are located on the south side, by the mosque.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was it. Sorry?
Excuse me, is someone going to need to use a computer?
Hi. Just the first, I'm so sorry, my English not very well, but I'm trying. I think it's the refugee war, like scary, no hope. You stay only upset, but other first, like you find more resource, new life, new friend. It's not have two face. It's have a different face. Like other, I think it's like you can starting a new life by new experience, and sometimes you feeling you don't can have trust to other person, and you don't can find the same level life like you have in your country. But for me, it means like one person or some people want help, want to help, and some people need help. It's for me like that. And I think my office, like between these two, like some people want to help, but they are need to find the way. Which way? They are can help to other people. And some people need help, but don't know which way can find the help. And I'm not like that. They stay between these two groups. And I want more talking about the Afghan refugee because I have this question before from my friend. She's asking me, what's different between the Afghan refugee and other refugee? I'm told other refugees have time for saying goodbye to mother, to father. They are can taking which thing is important. They are can take up with self and come to other new society. They are can make plan, but Afghan people don't have that. I go to Kabul, my capital city in Afghanistan country, because my father is sick. The first I'm going for that. My father go to capital city to hospital because he's sick. I don't thinking it's possible this month my country, my governor come to talk. I go for that. And nothing I pick up with me because I just go for my father. But the time I was saying that Kabul, governor go to farm. And I don't come up my to city because my city go far. And it just like I come out with nothing. I don't find time for say to my friends, bye. And my office open, my house open the door. I come out. And nobody understand. I remember the time I come to airport, the night is around this 2:00. I'm called to my uncle. I'm just saying goodbye, uncle. It's not easy because my father has just one brother, and he don't can find time take home to brother and say goodbye. And the time we are come, and my uncle hearing that just cried. He said, "Which way?" I said, "I'm so sorry, uncle, but it's like I don't know, but like other people decide for me, because I don't can find time for anything." We are come out. We are go to Qatar first time. Around this 1,000 people stay to same building, same room. Weather is very hot. Some people is sick, the child, the adult, but not any resource for health care. Just the nurse is here, take water, go drink water, go drink water. The child is come sick, they are said, go drink water. But like for diabetes or other problems, high blood pressure, they are said water. Because people don't have time for pick up the medication. And they are coming, they are need medication, but nothing. After I think around this 3 or 5 days, for me is a very interesting memory. The time I want to leave the Qatar, I come US before for 3-4 times. My other family member no, but all my family member accept for come out from the Qatar go to US, just me no. The person is come tell me, "I'm so sorry, Maryam, you need to stay more time to Qatar for searching your background." And all my family need come out and leave the Qatar. It's not easy. For people, they are losing everything, and now again, they are need lose other family members and stay behind. But I tell to my all family, please don't tell to my father. I think it's funny, you understand, I'm say to my father what? I say to my father, I will say for conference. Because he not leave me. I said, "But father, you need to go because I have conference was in Qatar for 2 days. I'll come and enjoy with you in the US after 2 days. He said, okay, and he go, but I don't know, I think it's help from God. The airplane flight canceled, and we are stay for 1-2 days more, and after that we are come all my family members together to US. But the time we are go to Wisconsin camp, first time, not a good or enough food for our body. I remember for one night, me and my sister-in-law go stay in the line for food. We are go is around this 4 o'clock and come back 11:30 in the night. For not enough food. You know, we are 16 people, but we are received 9. And the time we are come back, all the children is asleep. And no other things. Because it's the camp in Wisconsin is different from other camp because it's an army camp. We can go outside from camp. But it's a good thing. The soldier in this place is very young, but because they don't have ready for that, you know, like we are. We are not ready for anything. But coming around 13,000 people same time, and they are confused. They are not ready for everything. They are thinking we have something with us, but we are coming for just one cloth. Some people don't have shoes. Some people don't have enough clothes for the winter. And some people needed the medication, and it's very serious health issue. And they are confused which way they can control everything. And we have some different program in there, because like around this 25 people stay to one room, or men, women, old, child, everybody. And different language. You know, my country have different language. And they are good have communication with each other. And different culture and other things. But after 1 month, the soldier learning slowly, and we are learning. We can help the soldier, and soldier can help us, and making better situation for refugees in this camp. I must stay around 2 months in the hospital with my father, because after 1 month, the camp don't accept my father come back to camp, because they are going to have facility for care my father. And my father wants to see other my family members, but we don't have any choice for that. And every time he cried. He cried, you want let me allow me here. Why nobody come visit me? Because we are talking to him about the problem, but he can't understand that. Because it's a different situation. But everybody come in the US, and we are coming to Milwaukee, and other family go to other areas. After that, starting other challenges, problem for family. And I think around this 70% uneducated come to Milwaukee and Wisconsin. People from Afghanistan. Just 35% educated. And just like 20%, this refugee can speak English. 80%, nothing. An agency just help you for 90 days. Like for 90 days, rent the house, help you opening or receive the food share card or health care card. And like sometimes they are help you register for English classes. After 90 days, nothing. But the people need us. Because we have young generation with us. They are go to school. They are find challenging in the new school because it's different culture, different area. Like every day I'm working with the girls and boys, they are go to college, they are go to high school, they are go to school, because they are don't can understand an other person talking with they are. Like some different things in the between the society, you know, because in Afghanistan separate school, the boys and girls, but they are together, and family is worried. Family is feeling they are lose the child is here, and needed we are talking with the child, with the teacher, with the families. They all can understand better each other. And other, like, I remember the first week my niece go to school, she don't want to go anymore to school. I said, why? She said, other people laughing to me. I said, it's a normal, don't worry, because you don't can talk with they are. And they are taking, they are want to understand more about you, but because they are don't can anyway, for talking or communication with you, they are used that way. It's not means you have problem. Just they are want to come friendly with you. You try. The time they are laughing, you laugh. I know it's something problem in this school, but my niece don't can understand because just she's 10 years old. I can understand because I'm grow up refugee, but my niece no, it's a first time. I saw a lot of challenge in my life, but my niece no. Like other time, I go to high school. One girl from Afghanistan, she don't want to go anymore to school, or family don't want to let she go to school because she's the time come to bus. 4 guys come to bus. They are a student from this high school. It's possible they are just joking with us, but she's scared. Because they are coming near to her and they are joking and they are talking high voice and they are making situation scary for her. But I told to her, you can find another friend, you have trust to that, you can go sitting with there, you know. About it is very simple challenge, but for refugee it's not simple because they also can speak English. And a lot of things more, like I remember like in the hospital or clinic, sometimes the refugee want to go to dentist. The dentist don't facility have for interpreter. And the vision doctor said, in Wisconsin, these two don't have facility for interpreter. And the refugees goes here, need some people for help for interpreter. You know, it is a big challenge for these families because they don't want to go and continue the issue help by clinic or hospital because they are scared. They are scared about that. They don't can understand. I remember one time I and Joanna go. One lady that have problem for born baby. Interpreter is man. The time I told to interpreter, I'm going how? He said, please sister, stay where you go. I said, because my father said I need to go. You know why he told me stay? Because he's shame talking about something with her. He needs female. But it's a challenge because we also have that type interpreter here. I said, it's like, the time the people saw from outside is very simple, but for refugee it's not simple. About my culture, I think one thing a sponsor or volunteer find some problem with the family because they don't know about my culture. The time I'm coming here, a lot of people thinking we are Arab. I'm talking with us like by Arabic language, or they are thinking we are Arab. I said, I'm not Arab. I'm from different country, different area. Because we are new in here. But just I want to tell you something. It's that you need to have more patience for my people. They have big experience. They are need of learning. We have some people from my villages here. They are not can I grew up in city, but she's not grew up in the city. She's come from village. She don't see before refrigerator or oven or microwave. She sees here, and she's she can stay like village in Afghanistan, but needed she understands slowly. It's a different. She need have time for manage what with the new society, a new life. And child say, sometimes I know my country child gone crazy, but you need help and have patience. And thank you so much for your listening.
We're kind of short on time, but I wonder if there are any questions, if anybody wants to ask Sheila or Maryam anything, now would be the time.
I have a question. Go ahead.
Marty.
I was gonna say, language seems to be a huge, huge issue, and we'll talk about customs and stuff during that. Language, does Google Translator work
But
for
the
the refugee?
I'm telling you, his first problem is 70% uneducated by my language. They can read and write by one language. Which way you can use Google Translate as a problem.
Okay.
Over here.
Joanna, did you have a question?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask Maryam, because you said you were a refugee before.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you could just share a little bit about your story, because it's fairly unique how you grew up.
Before I am born to this war, I become refugee. Because the first war started the Russia war in Afghanistan. My father need to go outside from Afghanistan about the safety, the family. And I'm born in Iraq. The time my family is stay refugee in Iraq. And I'm grow up and come back to Afghanistan. Now again, I'm a stay refugee. Yeah. I have taught all my life.
Yes.
How many different languages do the Afghan people speak?
Around is 13 or 15, but it's important too. It's too very important. All my people understand two languages. It's Dari and Pashto.
And they understand it, but they can't write and read.
Yeah,
Oh,
We
okay.
understand Arabic too.
yeah.
Yeah, I have to be careful when I speak Arabic. I speak Arabic, so they understand Arabic too.
Or some people can speak with other language, like Rushi or some other language. They are, because in my country we are have some other language teaching, and they are know about some other language, but the educated people, not uneducated.
Any other questions? Yes.
What would a parish like this, what is the most urgent need that we might fulfill that Joanna isn't already doing?
Volunteers. We always need more volunteers.
But what type, like, I'm old, but I can do something, you know?
My brother family have one friend. She's old, but she's helped the child for learning English. She's helped the mother and father for learning English, because it's important and big issue or challenge is language.
Yes.
You can help for that.
And second and home, Howard and Howard, where is the
So
do
we do have a program called ESL at Home. So we actually have women that do not attend our ESL classes on site. So we do have women that are actually at home that are that maybe have newborn babies that can't attend our. So we're actually in high demand for women that are looking to help teach, and men, if any men are interested, women that would like to teach basic English to women that are sitting at home, that have newborn babies that are, basic English. And we have a curriculum in place. Lisa Summerfield is actually assisting with that, coordinating.
And a woman can't teach a man, is that correct?
Not means like that. You can, but it is important you go first at the family. You will stay comfortable. They are stay comfortable. You
Yeah.
can. But the time you feeling you not comfortable or other side not comfortable, it's better you are change.
It depends on the family.
Yeah.
So like for example, Lisa, our family life coordinator, she took it really depends on the family, how conservative they are. Lisa took all of our men for, passed all our driving, we had, I think, 5 or 6 men passed, their driver's tests. And she took them, all of them, all of them for driver's tests. So just depends, each family's different depending on how, conservative they are.
Okay, thank you so much.
There are a couple things, again, Sheila has left some information about Hanan in the back. And again, members of Migrant Ministry are also very involved with this agency, helping with kind of being a point person and support person for some of these families, helping with baby stuff, all kinds of things. So again, the ministry here at the parish also is involved, not just with Hanan. We have relationships with the Hispanic community, Rohingya community, Burmese community. And likewise, Hanan, as you had stated, is not just about Afghanis.
Yeah.
I believe where you're looking, I think you said, you're gonna be getting some Ukrainian refugees, or if they're not even here already, and I know you had said you're looking for some Russian interpreters.
Yeah.
Does anybody speak Russian? Give her a call. So anyway, there's a lot of opportunities for members of this parish to get involved in this very important issue, and I would invite folks to think about it and kind of think about where you can help out and what you're called to do. If there's nothing else, I think we'll have to wrap it up here, but thank you very much for coming, and thank you to Maryam and Sheila.